Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at DENT. Fun fact, this is one of the first two coins I covered on my channel. This and BTT, BitTorrent token. So again, awesome stuff here. If you are around from that time, let me know. I'd love to hear it. That was April of 2021, okay? Interestingly enough, already almost 3 years ago. So let's take a quick look here at a few things. We're gonna look at the larger time frame stuff. We're going to mark some weekly candlestick closures just to get perspective on key level resistances. Then we're also going to obviously redraw out some new fibs here based on current price points and most recent highs and lows. So if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. Been teaching and trading for a very long time. I really hope you can learn something here today. If you want to learn a lot more, jump on over to our Twitter, Discord, Telegram, whatever you want to do. Discord is probably the best because you have options to communicate and chat through the platform. We also have premium signals, which are basically my swing trade signals. Been doing these for a while now, and I can tell you, super consistent. We took 21% from OP. That was in 6 hours. Cartesi 70%. Atom 102. Cardano 74% in 2 days. Oh no, basically 3 days. And ICP, nice old trade there. Just came through with ICP hitting 151%. That $65 mark, I think it was. Okay, so awesome stuff. Be sure to check that out. We've also got day trading too, some scalps that we take consistent profit on as well. So that's all linked down below if you're curious. Feel free to reach out or DM me as well. Just know I'll never direct message you first. There's a lot of scammers that try to impersonate me. While it's flattering, it's really pathetic. So just stop. You're a total idiot. And yeah, unfortunately, you catch the occasional person that falls for it, but I don't know how you sleep at night. Anyways, conversation for another day. So DENT, let's look at the daily time frame. Let's work our way down. Let's start with some worst case scenarios, okay? If the price does pull back, where does it go to? I get that question all the time, so we may as well cover it. 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 are the most common retracement levels. So if this is the top, which we still don't know it is, as essentially this is a second wave in this uptrend, then we're going to establish lower lows and lower highs for a short period of time. In other words, it's common for prices to pull back in areas of retracement and the price to leg up at key levels. Okay, 0.5, 0.382 are the most consistent. So this is a little zone there that you might want to consider dollar cost averaging. That would be roughly, I'm just going to paraphrase here, say 955 upwards of 1,000. Okay, or yeah, I'll stick with those numbers instead of doing all the decimal points. I think you get the idea though. 955 upwards of 1,000 is essentially that little range there. Okay, so that said, price is converging nicely here. Nothing's changed there on the MACD. A lot of daily timeframes are looking super bullish for coins, so you got to keep in mind, while you can extract a little bit of information on the daily, you're not going to get a ton of like phenomenal, like, oh, price is going to turn around now because we're hitting a certain level. We do have a stochastic swing to the downside for the second time. That does imply pullback would be potential, but again, it's defied that here today. That's really just the data here from the last 3 or 4 trading days that consolidated nicely. Speaking of consolidation, let's take a quick look here. While we did consolidate here, it wasn't enough to reset our TD sequential, so it is still counting up. I simply think that we are on day number 1 of this uptrend though, because this little consistency here at support, basically, you know, averaging itself out over the last few days is a nice little reset there for a new step up. So in other words, we're day 1 of 9 days of continuation to the upside potential. Reaffirm that word potential because there's no guarantees, but coins right now are taking off, and this is one of those ones that's looking very strong. Stochastic RSI, again, we talked about that. Traditional RSI up over 70, normally a bad sign, but you got money on flow index backing it up. With high money flow index, the price is going to sustain because it has a lot of volume in the coin in the last few trading days. Okay, take a look at the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and see. This actually specifies a very similar scenario here. Our money flow index is increasing. It's bouncing off of 50. Money flow is good. We can see the amount of volume in the last 12 hours is extremely high. We can see stochastic is starting to swing down, potential shift of momentum there, but RSI is up over 70. So we do have a little bit of conflicting information here. This is not like a tried and true, like go long because we see all these things right now, but these are all, majority of them are positive. There's a couple of conflicting. The stochastic swinging down is not great. Money flow index technically is a little lower than I like it, but it's okay that it's lagging here because that's a 14 candlestick lag, and it's really taken into consideration this little flat period here. Okay, but if you look at it, we can see volume has increased significantly in the last 3 trading days, or sorry, 3 candles, and in this case, it's looking very strong. So to me, this is mostly bullish. If we take a look at the moving averages, we're above all 4. Extremely positive contributing factors. If we take a look at fair value and or liquidity, we got a lot of liquidity lower in the price action. So this is something to be mindful of. All the more reason to be just kind of careful with your trading because Again, coins like this can wick down pretty aggressively, and if it were to, it wouldn't be surprising if the price wicked down to this lower level to fill these previous liquidity levels. There's still a lot of meat left on the bone, if you will, for profits to be taken to the downside, okay? And a lot of times market movers will drive the price action up with a bunch of small limit orders, keep the price going up like this, nice and consistent, and then they'll drop it down, just like we see these little heart rate monitors. Bleep. And then 10,000 in liquidation, gone. All right, yeah. So that's why you don't use high leverage, and you typically want to recommend, or I recommend, low position sizing too. All those trades I shared with you earlier, these are 5x leverage trades. Okay, some of them 6 or 7x, occasional 10 on Bitcoin, Ethereum, but for the most part, you get the idea. Still very safe to play it safe. Okay. Right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're about 7, 8 hours into this. Sorry. 7 to 8 4-hour candles in. We're looking at somewhere in the range of about 36 to 48 hours of continuation. Usually most continuations like these occur 72 hours tops. So we might have one more day of trading worth of upside, but it'd make a lot more sense if the price just kind of tapered off and bounced off this most recent high right there at 0.236. So to me, an entry at about 1080 would be an appropriate consideration for long. Again, consideration, we reevaluate when the price gets there. You don't just jump in blindly. Take a look at the hourly. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up here for you. By the way, thank you so much for watching this far. If you have, comment below, like the video, more importantly, so YouTube can share this with other people. We can also see here the Ichimoku cloud, free and clear. There's nothing here, no reason at all to consider a short position. Okay, and I like to reaffirm that nowadays too, because people misinterpret when I say that, oh, a long position isn't ideal right now. Obviously, it's massively overextended. However, it doesn't imply the price is just going to drop. And even though I give you these potential dollar cost average targets, does not mean you short to those levels. In a bullish uptrend like this, the price could very well continue higher, and I could be way off based on the price not pulling back. Right now, we do take a look at TD sequential. We're extremely overextended. We've been moving up without correction for about 72 to 108 hours. That's way too much continuation to be able to sustain this price point. Again, volume, obviously doing very well. Once we start to see the volume taper off, different story altogether. But do not take this conversation and think that I'm saying to short because it's too late for long. Okay? Again, I'm saying right now, a long consideration may not be appropriate because it's overextended, but also if you have a long position open, you may want to leave it open. Okay? Actually, you definitely want to because it doesn't look like it wants to pull back at all. Adjust your stop loss higher. Don't get too greedy. Make sure you take some profits when you can, because nowadays profits are they're consistent. You can always find profit, but you can always leave a lot of money on the table too, and I hate doing that. All right, just some friendly advice there. Last but not least, if you're using an exchange that requires KYC or VPN, it's soon that you're not going to be able to use them at all, obviously. It depends on your country, of course, but US, Canada, etc., that's where a lot of my members are based. So we do have a partnership here with Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Highly recommend trying them out. You get really good rewards for using my link to register, but more importantly, I have trailing stop losses, adjustable moving targets, or sorry, I misspoke. Multiple targets rather. Moving targets are things that I use in my trading bot. But I have a Bitunix section here in our Discord. I'll continue to add to that, but obviously some instructional information. There's some baselines if you want to consider using. Okay, so again, just getting some friendly advice from my community members. They're loving it. They like it a lot. So I just want to kind of pass that on to you. So anyways, long story short here, DENT is in pretty good shape. Be careful taking high leverage trades right now. It definitely looks like it wants to break out and continue higher. It would make more sense for the price to go higher than it would to go lower. If it does go lower, once again, we have these price points we want to pay attention to. 0.382, 0.5, about 955 to 1000 or 1000. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching. Really, really appreciate your feedback. And again, you've been watching me for since April of 2021. I want to hear it. That is pretty awesome. A really, really cool thing there. All right. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Take care.